And we're back. Mike Cernovich, DangerPlay.com. Gorilla Mindset, the right mindset. Very, very hot out today. Had a beautiful weather in California. Got some working out in, did some hills. We're going to talk about today. What do you think about Steve King of Iowa? That's what we'll talk about. The conversation for the day. Steve King of Iowa, he had said that you cannot preserve our culture by importing other people's babies. Whoa, people were angry. The outrage mob was in full effect yesterday. He had said you cannot preserve our culture by importing other babies. People got really mad at that. I knew they would. Right when he said that, I go, oh man, I know he's going to get, I know people are going to get mad. So I guess my question is, you can call me in, talk to me about it. I'll tell you the phone number in a second here, because I did an interesting thought experiment. I said, would it be possible to go 1 week without Trump? And by that I mean, could you go a week without talking to somebody or with somebody about Donald Trump? And I go, you know what, I'm going to go a day. I'm going to go a day without Trump just because it'll be a fun challenge, and I like to challenge myself. I made it 2 hours and 5 minutes. I opened up a website, boom, Trump. We now live in the Trump matrix. You cannot go anywhere other than to a monastery, to a silent retreat, to a Zen Buddhist or a Catholic, or maybe go to Peru, to the rainforest where they don't have cell phone reception. You cannot go anywhere with Trump, and that's why he's so persuasive. It's his world, and we're just living in it. But I'm going to talk about Steve King, not Stephen King, the author. Steve King, the congressman from Iowa. Let's get some calls going. Hold on. We're about to set it up. And then I'll give you the phone number, because I forget the number. I should remember it. All right, the phone number is, and I don't type it out. Nobody type this out either. Hear it and write it down, or you don't. 1-866-438-1487. That is 866-438-1487. The topic of the day: what did you think about Steve King's tweet? He said that we cannot preserve our culture by importing other babies. It'll be a controversial night tonight. I can already feel the controversy brewing, because people go, what do you mean by our culture? Western culture. Where is the Western civilization outside of the West? Where is Western civilization outside of the West? Can you preserve Western culture if you import millions and millions and millions and millions of people from the Middle East? Can you have a democracy? So here would be my question. American is an idea. American's an idea. If America is an idea, why is it only in America? Why is America the only country that has American values? Why is the West the only place where you have Western values? If it's just an idea, then surely we can go over to the Middle East and say, here's our idea, use it. Didn't we try that already, though? Isn't that what the Iraq War was about? We're going to bring democracy. Can you bring democracy to people who don't want democracy? Can you bring democracy to people who want a caliphate? Can you bring democracy to totalitarians? I would contend that you cannot. But let's see what you have to think. Hi, Charlottesville, Virginia. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. A little out of breath. Did a bunch of cardio. I gotta catch my breath a little bit.
Sweet. That's always a good idea. You were looking pretty pumped at the Bull Moose party where I saw you last.
Yeah, man. I've been getting back in shape, dude. I was, I got real out of shape with the election and just wasn't going to the gym. I was running on too much adrenaline every day because it was so important. It was rush. All it was adrenaline. I wasn't taking care of my own body, dude, and that is a failure of the right mindset, because gorilla mindset, right mindset, MAGA mindset, whatever kind of mindset you have, is you got to take care of yourself. I always tell people, and I broke my own rule, talking about politics, you earn it. You got to go to the gym, you got to eat healthy, you got to take care of your family. You got to earn your right to participate in government, because if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of the environment. But enough of that digression. What brings you out here tonight, sir?
Okay, so you're talking about Steve King. Yeah, I noticed that tweet, and I was pretty wowed by that. I mean, basically, he's talking about a lot of the stuff we talk about on the internet, but politicians don't talk about because they're afraid of the controversy. And I applaud him for that, because we need more people to be brave. Now is not the time to use euphemisms and to be cowards. If we're going to save Western civilization, now is the time, and we have to be clear that we are trying to save Western civilization. And you don't do that by bringing in people from Marxist countries or from Islamo-fascist countries. It's not going to work that way.
Yeah, I don't even, a lot of people, and you probably have your own view, a lot of people like to talk about race, but I don't want white people from France coming over to America either. I've lived in France, and I don't want white people from Sweden coming over. I don't want these people with these Marxist European values and these Frankfurt School values coming over either. I don't think people understand. And this is something that frustrates me, because here's what's frustrating to me. I used to be a libertarian. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I was a libertarian. Maybe the only thing I'm ever ashamed of in my entire life is that I was a libertarian. But if you're a libertarian, you're telling me that you're not an intelligent person, because libertarians believe in open borders. And if you have an open border and you're importing people who don't have libertarian values and you're importing them into a democracy, then they will immediately vote away all of your freedoms. So you cannot have open borders libertarianism. And it amazed me. It took me 10 years to figure that out. Were you ever a libertarian?
No, I was actually a liberal, believe it or not. I was an NPR listening liberal, and I listened to every day that they put stories out bashing men. Men were always wrong. Women were always the poor victims. And they started reporting on the black people being shot in the various cities, and they weren't even waiting for the evidence to come in. They were just being hysterical that, black people were being murdered.
I used to be anti-cop.
And I just listened to them. I listened to them start the riots in Baltimore, man. Because it's not that black people in the Baltimore ghettos are listening to NPR, but the mainstream media is listening to NPR. They're all liberals. And then they report on the nightly news, it's a holocaust of police just shooting innocent black people who didn't do nothing. And that turned me off. I saw this is propaganda. They are starting riots to get people excited to vote for the Democrats, basically.
Yeah, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I used to be anti-cop. I used to believe that, oh my God, cops are hunting down and just shooting people everywhere. Man, like I said, I was definitely a cuck. I believed NPR. I used to listen to NPR, and I thought it was true. And what a fool I was, man. God.
Yeah, they always bring up so many studies.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is they try and say, we're the educated ones. We're in with academia. We have professors and this on our side. But once you start to realize that even the science, especially the soft sciences, the social sciences, are open to the being biased by the beliefs of the professors, then all bets are off. I mean, how many studies have we heard about now where the liberal professors don't like what it pretends, so they just sit on it for years? Like, I remember some of the studies relating to genetics and race. Some of these professors, they do this stuff on the IQ and on the heritability of behavior. And they just sit on it because they want to believe in this Marxist worldview that the genetics go on human behavior, on intelligence, etc. It plays it has no impact on gender. Gender is a social construct, etc. So it really is up to the alternative media and to people like you, places like 4chan, for people to just be able to speak openly, free of suggestion, and you start to come up with ideas that aren't programmed into you. And I think that's what the whole revolution, the nationalist revolution, is about.
Yeah, it was interesting because if gender is a social construct, then why do transgenders need to take hormones of the other genders, right? Why would an Olympic athlete like Bruce Jenner, or what's his name, Bruce Jenner, Bruce Kardashian, why would Bruce Kardashian, who, if you look at old pictures of him, has a big neck, huge Adam's apple, high testosterone, and he decides that he's a woman, and that's fine, sure, right, I don't care about that kind of stuff, but why would he need to take estrogen? If gender is a social construct, then why would he need to take estrogen? If women to men transgenders need testosterone, why? Why would you, that would be my question to you, if gender is a social construct, why would you need biological hormones to gender trans, right? Or whatever hell they call it. Doesn't make any sense.
It's a completely absurd idea, and really the liberal religion, because it's basically a pseudo-religion that they have, is constantly being updated, where if, first it's things that to me seem reasonable, like, I understand why there are gay people. There are animals in the rest of the animal kingdom that are gay, but I don't see any trans animals. I don't see any other animals who need to mutilate themselves and cut off their genitalia to feel like they are mentally well. It seems to me more like anorexia, where somebody has a body dysphoria, like they're looking in the mirror and they think that they're so fat, and they see a fat person, but they're really very skinny. And we don't tell an anorexic person, oh yeah, it's fine, just stop eating. Things will turn out well.
See, this is logic.
For a transgender person, you shouldn't
encourage
somebody to mutilate themselves because they're mentally ill.
See, this is logic. A number of points. One is, where I disagree with a lot of people about the transgender issue is that in Thailand and the Philippines, they actually treat it more like a third gender. And it's much more common than here. And in Thailand, the women there are very feminine. So I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but his point is great, which is that if I told you that I am, well, I don't look anorexic, but if I were 110 pounds and I told you I'm fat, every time I look in the mirror, I can't believe it, I need to starve myself, people would say, well, you need help. This is a body dysmorphic disorder. Same with bulimics. So why is it then that if you say I'm really, even though I have the parts of a man, I'm really a woman, why is that not treated as any kind of body dysmorphia? And that's because science is politicized.
Yeah, totally. I mean, until in the DSM, the manual psychologists used to figure out who has a mental illness, because there was no debate. There was no looking at research to see if transgenderism is a real thing or a mental illness. It just turned on a dime where the liberals decided, okay, this is the new civil rights frontier, and you accept it or you're a bigot.
Yeah, and I think that is what is backfiring. That's what's backfiring on them is, I think I may talked about this in an earlier show. I am a closed border libertarian, and by that I mean we need to keep America, because transgenders, they don't have any rights in the Muslim world. That's in a way the evil side of me. We all have a dark side. I'll confess.
Well, we have borders to have countries. I mean, I like to travel. I know you traveled some too, and I can appreciate other cultures and other people. And I think if you really appreciate diversity, you want there to be distinctions and borders, and this is a country for this people, and this is a country for that people, because when you go and you visit them, they root for their sports team, like they're very patriotic for that, and they have their regional cuisines, and their women look a certain way, and they dress a certain way, and they have certain festivals, and if we buy into the globalism thing, all that goes away. We'll just become one boring blob dictated by the elites and the corporations.
Well, see, I was going to go much more darker than that. I was going to say that in the end, if the Muslims take over, all this transgender rights stuff, all this feminist stuff, that's all gone. So in a way, even if the Muslims win, I would get the last laugh, because all of these left-wing people will be oppressed.
Thinking a little bit about these people, Antifa, they sort of targeted me for a number of reasons, because I've written some articles on God News, my website, jasonkessler.net, and So let me do a thought experiment with you. If these people were to abolish the government, as they say that they want to, what do you think the Islamic world would do in response to that? Do you think we would have epic levels of gang rape and mass murder? What would these people do when the Muslims came over and started killing them? Do you think they would turn to the conservatives with the guns, or would they sell us out?
Well, I mean, America, we have the guns. We're not like Sweden and Germany. So in America, we have the guns. It'd be a little bit different than elsewhere. That's for sure. But
do you think if the government was gone, if there was, let's say that the liberals and the conservatives just got too heated, like they hated Trump so much that they wanted to overthrow the government. We found out that there was a real insurrection in the government, not just the normal deep state stuff where they're playing the political game, but we found out there was something that was treasonous from a large part of the deep state, and it completely tore our country apart. What do you think would happen if we didn't have a government? Like, these people want no government. So what would happen?
We'll see. We'll see, my friend. Thank you for the call.
Sure.
We'll see. There'll always be government. They will always be. By the way, if you're watching on Periscope, you got to go watch on YouTube now. Okay? Click on the link on Periscope, and we're going to get you to YouTube. So go to YouTube. Thanks for watching on Periscope. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button. We're working on building up the old Right Side Broadcasting Network. Remember, guys and girls, Right Side Broadcasting Network was the only network bringing you every Trump rally live. Right? They were the ones during the campaign that brought you all the rallies. They would get all these views. And now there's no campaign, so they got to rebuild. I'm optimistic. But they have to rebuild. So help them rebuild. Hit the like button on the show. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell to get notifications. Memphis, Tennessee, how you doing?
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh my goodness, I answered. Oh wow. Hey, well, I am actually on Twitter. My name is Dude from Nowhere, as capital A, capital D, U, D, E, capital N, O, W, E, R, E. There's no H because, the character limit. But anyway, but then I'll just go ahead and cut to the chase. Have you ever thought about doing a panel with Milo Yiannopoulos, Paul Watson, and Stefan Molyneux? Because I'm kind of saying, I think that would make for a great, interesting topic. I mean, you guys could discuss topics amongst each other and really get some hard-leading discussion. I'm sorry, I'm just very nervous because I didn't really think I would get through. And I guess I need my life coach now because you're a real life coach, which my dad bought for me is very awesome. And I just want to push you luck on everything you do. You have a good night.
Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you for your call. Yeah, so the caller wants to know, would I like to do a panel with Stefan Molyneux, Paul Joseph Watson, Milo Yiannopoulos, Mike Cernovich, maybe Jim Hoft, Gateway Pundit, maybe Lucian Wintret. Yeah, that would be the dream team. Hard to coordinate all of our schedules. It is hard. We want to do another big event in maybe August. Maybe August, we want to do another big event. April 29th, Jim Hoft is putting on a Real News Correspondents' Dinner. So as you know, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was either canceled or they were shading Trump or some outlets were going to boycott because they didn't like Trump. And so Trump said, I'm not going to go. They go, well, it's still on. Beats me, man. Beats me. So I talked to Jim Hoft about it, and Jim Hoft wants to do a Real News Network. We could get James O'Keefe, Project Veritas. So I would love to have it happen. PJW, Paul Joseph Watson is in London, I think, Europe. Stefan Molyneux is in, I believe, Toronto. Milo is a man of the world. I don't know where Milo is. So yeah, if that could happen, it would be great value. I would like to see a Real News panel, a CPAC style training course where people who actually know how to use social media because the thing is, PJW, Stefan Molyneux, they are dominating the YouTube game. I got a lot of work to catch up with them. I do well on Twitter, but they're killing it on YouTube. They do well on Twitter too. So wouldn't it be great if you could have a panel with all of us talking about all of that? It's a great idea. I'd love to see it happen. Scheduling will be an issue. I had also, Vox Day had talked about having an alt-tech panel in, I believe it was Spain, but we can live stream. But that's the thing, if we do an event, we can live stream it anywhere. So we could do an alt-tech panel, and we were going to have that in June, but life is busy. We'll see. But yes, you're right. We need more training camps. We need more people to learn how to do what it is that we do for a living. So you're right, sir. Thank you for the idea. And I'm glad you're really getting value out of Gorilla Mindset. Have a good night.
Thanks again, Mike.
Bachelor's Hall, Virginia. How you doing?
What city did you say, Danville?
We can hear you. Wherever you are, we hear you. Whoever you are.
Great. You know, I've been thinking about this a whole lot lately.
Yes.
I loved the little Disney thing. It's a small world after all.
Uh-huh.
You know, the uniqueness of each culture. I was just thinking how terrible it would be to not have the ability to go to Europe one day and, like, there's a restaurant that was featured in Norway, and the uniqueness of it, and the foods, and the values, and the things, to see that different culture. Why is it the entire world is focused on changing everything to be pretty much Muslim?
It's a hatred of white people. I mean, it ultimately comes down to hatred of white people. Everybody goes, diversity is our strength. I used to say that. And then I would see pictures posted of diversity. People would say, look at the diversity in this picture. And there'd be 0 white people. And I would go, well, wait a minute. I thought diversity was that, you know, we have women, we have blacks, we have Muslims, we have Latinos. Let's get everybody, gays, let's get everybody in a room and kind of find a way to get along. That was what I thought diversity meant. And then I started to look at the actual pictures and stuff, and I go, no. Diversity means I'm out of the picture. Diversity means I'm dead. End of story kind of thing. So it is really a hatred of white people. I wrote about it in MAGA Mindset, which is that the war on white people is one of the reasons Trump did. Here's a couple examples. Jeet here is his name. I forget. He's some morbidly obese, really ugly guy. Moved to Canada from India, and all he does is shits all over Canada and America, which is, again, another problem. That's why I don't support immigration anymore. How can you come to America, the greatest country in the world, and then just shit all over Americans? Fuck you.
Right.
You know, I shouldn't cuss. Right side is family friendly. But Jerry Heat of the New Republic asked Chris Hayes on Twitter, I hate to be biased, but what the hell is wrong with white men? Right? He didn't lose his job. Well, I know, but if I tweeted what the hell is wrong with black men, boy, I'd be in a world of hurt. Luckily, I don't have a real job. I just sell books and, whatever. But my life, if you're a normal person, if you said what the hell is wrong with black men or Jewish men, that'd be it. Bye-bye, you're fired. But Jeet here of the New Republic, he didn't lose his job, right? Gainfully, they all high-five. I don't even know what's wrong with white men. What is wrong with white men? But when you look at actually crime and murder and everything, look at Chicago. What if you looked at the crime rates in Chicago and Detroit, and you said on Twitter, what is wrong with black teenage men? That's it. Bye-bye, life. You're never going to be on TV. You're never going to be on Fox News even. You're over. You're done. Peace out, homie. But you can say, what the hell is wrong with white men? White men are why everybody is evil. This is...
White men and Christians.
Yeah. Here's from the National Review. Kevin Williamson. I don't even know... See, this is the thing. I read their names, but they're such idiots, I don't even know how to pronounce them. Kevin Williamson. Here's what he said about white people in the National Review. The truth about these dysfunctional, downscale communities is that they deserve to die. Economically, they are negative assets. Morally, they are indefensible. Forget all your cheap theatrical Bruce Springsteen crap. Forget your sanctimony about struggling Rust Belt factory towns and your conspiracy theories about the wily Orientals stealing our jobs. Forget your god-darn gypsum. And if you have a problem with that, forget Ed Burke too. The white American underclass is enthralled to a vicious, selfish culture whose main products are misery and heroin needles. This appeared in the National Review. Okay, let's change the race here. The truth about these dysfunctional inner-city communities is that they deserve to die. The black American underclass is enthralled to a vicious, selfish culture whose main products are misery and crack. What's going to happen to the guy who says that? What's going to happen to that guy? You know, National Review publishes hatred. This is hate speech right here. This is pure hatred. So if you read National Review, which is supposedly a conservative Republican publication, they're telling you that the white people deserve to die. White communities deserve to die. They are just trash. If you're the liberal, the far left, here the New Republic, what's the hell is wrong with white men? All day, just bigotry and hatred nonstop. So that's ultimately what it comes down to, is that the globalists, and that include everybody from the New Republic to National Review, they just hate white people. There's no other answer. It's sheer naked bigotry and absolute hatred.
So what happened to get the entire world in on this?
Globalism, man. The connected society made it all possible. The connected society made it all possible. The Frankfurt School spread to Europe. Marxism spread to Europe. Marxism actually began in the U.S. A lot of people don't know that. But Marxism did not begin in the Soviet Union. It caught on in America, and then it was imported to the Soviet Union. There you go. The human.
And how did communism, which was abhorred in the 50s and 60s, how did it become prevalent in our society today?
Why can you wear a communist flag and a hammer and sickle? Why is the hammer and sickle from Stalin's Russia, why is that not viewed the same as a swastika? That is what I ask everybody. Why is it that you can put the hammer and sickle, a symbol of Stalinism and of Mao and of murder and mass murder, why can you put that in your Twitter profile and you're just cool? Why, they killed more than the Nazis did, but...
And why is Black Lives Matter not a KKK group?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is Muslim Brotherhood not a terrorist organization?
I mean, if you're looking for rational answers in today's society, you're just not going to find them. Thank you for your call.
Makes you want to just go and hide.
Well, you know, I have an exit strategy to get out of the U.S. If Trump had lost, I wouldn't be living in the U.S. I would have got out of here before they put me in death camps. So, thankfully, I mean, right now they're bashing you in the head with a baseball bat. So I would say that I'd be gone for sure. Have an exit strategy. Hide out, you know. I don't know, hiding out isn't the word. But if a Democrat like Hillary Clinton is ever elected, or Cory Booker, very hateful person, if they're ever elected, then I'm not going to stay in America. I will be out of here. Thank you for your call.
Thanks.
I'll be gone. If Hillary had won, peace out. Hillary had won, I was out. Gone. There's no way in the world. They're not going to put me in a death camp. They're not going to put me in the gulags like they did in the Soviet Union. You think that isn't coming here? You think they don't want to put us in gulags? Okay, they don't even want us to have a rally. If you're trying to have a peaceful rally, they will mace you, hit you with a baseball bat. Luckily, they're not gun owners. They'll start shooting us before long. You think if they had government control, they wouldn't put us in the gulags? This is a battle for life or death. Las Vegas, Nevada, how you doing?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Doing great.
I just wanted to talk about how they, the left is always using our own money against us.
Oh.
They do it with these refugee programs. They do it with Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
You know, their political arms are always donating to the Democrats. They do it with welfare to buy votes. Even Tennessee filed a lawsuit today to stop the refugees because when they do place refugees, they always place them in red areas. I mean, it's just this constant using our own money against us. And I don't think they'd like it very well if we gave $500 million a year to the NRA.
Well, did you read about how the Department of Justice, which rather than prosecute Wall Street criminals and Wall Street crooks, rather than prosecute them, they made them pay fines. And of course, the fines were tiny compared to the profits people made. And then they took that money and they gave it to left-wing organizations. I couldn't believe that. And the ethics department, these morons, they care that Kellyanne Conway went on and talked about Ivanka Trump's fashion brand when our money is being used to fund the enemy, to fund the very people who want to take baseball bats to our heads. And these effing people are worried about Kellyanne Conway going on TV talking about Ivanka Trump's brand. I hate the GOP. I loathe the Democrats. I can respect because they are just, they're in your face and they go, you know what? I'm your enemy. I'm going to take everything that you cherish. I'm going to destroy your country. I'm going to import a culture of rape and murder, and I'm going to watch you suffer, and I'm going to put you in death camp. And my answer to that is okay. Man to man, woman to woman, man to woman. Thank you for your honesty. Republicans say, yeah, we're gonna fight against that. We're gonna fight the Democrats. And then you go, okay, that's great. You're gonna fight the Democrats. Awesome. I'm gonna go live my life. I hate politics. I hate journalism. I hate this crap every day. But they said, oh, we're gonna fight the Democrats, Cernovich. You guys don't need to be involved. We got it covered. And then you get the cool, I'm gonna go live my life. And then what do? They're trying to destroy our country. We got to take them out. 2018, we have to run our slate of candidates.
Yes, definitely join your local parties. It cracks from within. So everybody go and join your local, central committees in your county. You can go up to the state. You can be delegates. This cracks from within.
Well, we need a deeper talent pool. Jeff Flake is vulnerable in Arizona, but I don't know that Kelly Ward is going to beat him. We need a deeper talent. We need people to run for office. We need our people to run. And I am so tired of, myself included, this is why I do journalism. If we cannot rely on Ben Shapiro to fight for Western civilization, we cannot rely on Paul Ryan or Jason Chaffetz or whatever the hell his name is. They're trying to sabotage us. They tried to give Utah to Hillary. Jason Chaffetz and Mitt Romney. They all conspired to get that McMuffin head to win Utah. Can't trust any of them. So you're right. All politics is local. We need people doing local things or we're done. It's over.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You gotta go. You gotta do the meetings. You gotta do journalism. You gotta do your social media. You got to spread the message because we can't. That's the problem. People go, Mike, why do you hate these people? By the people, I mean the GOP. I'll tell you why. Hit the like button. We are at 230 likes. Let's give me to 300. Let's do 300 likes. So people go, Mike, you're way too mean to Ben Shapiro. You're way too mean to the National Review. You're way too mean to Glenn Beck. No, I'm not. And here's why. They are traitors. I did not, up until a year and a half ago, find my articles about politics. Go find my articles before a year and a half ago where I endorsed political candidates. Go find where I said I endorsed Mitt Romney. You're not going to find it. Because I trusted them. I trusted them to fight for America and do what they said they were going to do. Instead, they took that money. They took it from Saudi Arabia. They took it from a globalist. Other than Alex Jones and a few other people, who was actually fighting for us? None of these mainstream people were. So that is why I despise them. Democrats, I respect. At least they're going to look you in the face. They're going to stab you in the front. Right? Republicans are going to stab you in the back. That makes them far more diabolical, duplicitous than Democrats. South River, New Jersey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Mike. How are you?
Living the dream for now.
Living the dream. Well, I just want to say one thing about one of the things your last caller said. That's not what I called in for, but I'll get to that. As far as this whole attack on white males, regardless of what anybody thinks of Milo, you don't like his lifestyle, whatever it is, the message he was putting out there about what's going on college campuses is real, and that is one of the biggest problems. That's one of the things that is really destroying America, the indoctrination that's going on campuses. And I know because I work on a campus and I volunteered for something, and because I would not say that I recognize white privilege, I was told that I couldn't participate. I was sent an email and told that I need to read a document called Unpacking My Invisible Knapsack, and then to get back to them and let them know if I change my mind. Needless to say, I'm not part of that program, and I never will be, because I will not subscribe to that false narrative, and neither should anybody. But that's not what I called about. What I'm calling about is you're telling people to press that bell to get notification. Problem is, they're not getting them. I just got a notification at 10:36 for the show that started on RSBN at 9 p.m. And this is what YouTube's doing.
Yeah.
I've sent them several messages. I've tweeted them to ask them why they are suppressing RSBN. Are they punishing them because Trump won? Because they're not suppressing the other YouTube streams that are stealing streams and streaming them? So it's directed at RSBN, but I can't figure out why. And I just tweeted back to Sean Hannity, who tweeted out that they're, going after the president and doing all these things. The media is going after him. And I believe that YouTube is too.
Yeah, I mean, have you noticed that if you read a tweet from Trump, every tweet underneath it that shows up near the top, they're all negative tweets. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have. And I've been noticing a lot of these things. And again, like I said, I don't know how you fight this. I don't know who can change this. I mean, I have the Twitter addresses for every board member on Google. Maybe we have to tweet them, since they are the parent company who owns YouTube, and ask them, who's watching this shop over there. I don't know if it's really YouTube or if it's like a rogue employee, or maybe there's something in the settings at YouTube that's delaying RSBN streams. Right, and
here's a good example of that. There's a show called The Young Turks, and they did a panel at a thing called South by Southwest, which is a tech conference. Tens of thousands of people show up to South by Southwest. When the Young Turks went to give a talk, they got less people to show up than I could get to show up to a happy hour in Hermosa Beach, California, with a couple of tweets. More people want to come just have a happy hour with me, but the Young Turks, they're doing 2 million views a day. How are the Young Turks doing 2 million views a day when they can't even get at a conference with tens of thousands of people who are already there? They can't even get 40, 50 people to show up to hear them talk. So Google is definitely rigging the game, inflating the stats artificially, the Young Turks, and suppressing right-side broadcasting. As for what we can do, antitrust investigation maybe. Trump definitely needs to have antitrust investigations into YouTube, and campaign finance laws need to be reformed so that manipulating your algorithm to favor a certain candidate will be treated as a campaign contribution to the candidate. So there are a lot of ways. There are a lot of people like me thinking about how we can do it. The problem is that the GOP, Jason Chaffetz, Paul Ryan, they're more worried about Kellyanne Conway going on TV talking about Ivanka Trump than they are about YouTube silencing the people, about Twitter manipulating its algorithms to favor one candidate over another candidate. That's why 2018 we have to show up en masse. I'm going to use every energy, everything I can possibly do. We need to take these people out.
To be done, because there's no way. I went on Trump's Facebook page. I did a spreadsheet on how many videos were of RSBNs. I believe there's 78, maybe a couple more now, since they do his Facebook Live. They have on his Facebook streams alone that RSBN does 172 million views, and on RSBN's, the last number I was told was 112 million views. That's 283 million views plus that they have. Plus they have, what, 247,000 subscribers, yet they have 400 viewers per show. Something is wrong. It's YouTube.
Yeah.
They're not giving out notifications. They're suppressing them. They're sending. I didn't get one for your show, and I probably won't get one until after midnight.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've actually talked to the CEO of Right Side Broadcasting, Joe Searle, about this. I said, Joe, it doesn't make any sense. I have a very small YouTube channel because I haven't worked to build it up, and I'm working to build it up, obviously. I have a paltry 22,000 subscribers. I have a paltry 22,000 subscribers. My videos are getting 10 to 20,000 views. Okay? My streams are 10 to 20,000 views to my streams. My shows in Right Side Broadcasting are getting 3,000 to 5,000. How does it make any sense in the world that a channel with 250,000, 10 times more subscribers on Right Side has 10 times more subscribers than my brand new paltry YouTube page? So how is it that I get 2 or 3 times more views on a channel that has 1/10, a mere 10% of the subscribers at Right Side? Does the math make any sense to you?
The math makes no sense because I have it all on an Excel spreadsheet and I see it in front of me. I know something's wrong, but what can we do?
Yeah, we definitely need to start investigating them for antitrust violations. Thank you for your call. I'm glad you're watching. Keeping track. It's very important for us to keep track and to organize and mobilize. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doesn't make any sense. 22,000 subscribers on my YouTube, 10 times more subscribers on Right Side. My shows do 2 to 3 times more views than Right Side. Tell me how that makes any sense in the world. Using analytics, using numbers. You won't be able to. Something's up. Irvine, California, how you doing?
Mike Cernovich, what's up, dude?
Chillin'.
Hey, Guerrilla Mindset, I just want to tell them it was an excellent book. Check it out if you haven't already.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say also, all the callers we have are so cool. It's like, no one calls in, and they don't know what they're talking about. Everyone's so informed. I think that's a compliment to you.
Yeah, everybody who calls either is highly informed or they're trolls. So tonight we haven't had the guys to call in to call me a cuck and everything. But yeah, there's never do you have an idiot call in. A lot of times the callers teach me things that I didn't even know was going on.
For sure. I've been listening and taking notes. If you don't mind, can we do like a rapid fire?
Go ahead.
Cool. If you go to Open Secrets, put that on Google, and you look at the campaign financing for all the candidates. I did this way back when Trump was just the nominee. The only 2 candidates that aren't in the pocket of Goldman Sachs is Trump and Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders got bitch slapped on a tarmac, so that's why Trump is the other guy. You look at Ted Cruz, his wife is a regional director for Goldman Sachs. Romney's 3rd highest campaign contributor, Goldman Sachs. Obama's first campaign contributor in 2008, number 1, Goldman Sachs. Who survived the bank bailout with the best of everything, all the money? Goldman Sachs. Hillary Clinton, who did she give speeches for? $400,000 per speech. Goldman Sachs. So all sides of that, it's a great little thread to tie everyone together.
Yeah, back when Matt Taibbi used to do real journalism, he wrote about Goldman Sachs and its influence on American politics and how destructive it was. But now, see, here's the great thing now about identity politics. We used to talk about real issues like how the banks are bankrupting people, about how they are able to make exorbitant profits by rigging the market. Now we don't talk about that. Now all we talk about are white, black, Jew, Muslim, Hispanic, gay, transgender bathrooms, whatever. Well, why do you think George Soros and Wall Street and Goldman Sachs funds all this stuff? Because they're able to loot and steal. Because everybody's distracted on... I've even said transgender restrooms. I don't care. We need to worry about the banks, okay? We need to worry about how the future is being stolen from your children. I don't like transgender restrooms, but let's not spend tens of thousands of talk radio and TV hours. We need to say, I might not like transgender restrooms, but we need to put these people in prison. The people who destroyed the economy need to go to prison. Heidi Cruz needs to go to prison. Barack Obama needs to go to prison. The deep state, we need to round up the traitors. And we need to quit talking about transgender restrooms. And we need to talk about real issues facing us. But that is why the big bankers and Soros and everybody funds the identity politics, because we focus so much time on issues that are trivial compared to what really matters in life.
Right. Like you said, you went to law school. You know, when you negotiate, it's all about how you frame the issue. So how everything is framed is who wins. It's not, you don't really have to win. It's like, art of war once it's framed. One other thing I want to touch on was you mentioned all the Twitter stuff. It's very interesting because I talked to a lot of these people. I was so tired of seeing all these comments at the top. It's 10 times the amount of Trump supporters giving positivity to the president. And we're just at the bottom. We don't exist. We get ghosted. So I started doxing these people, and like 85%, the lion's share, are all these comedians from other countries. None of them are Americans. I found guys from Ireland, from Canada, from Britain. They're all these like semi-famous, not too high, you know who they are, but semi-famous scrubs. And I think they're all being paid to do this. And so like with the number manipulating and all these different platforms, it's like an allegory of a cave. The social media around Obama, they created this whole thing to give this false narrative, if they need it, that the population is behind something. But that's why, if you could see it like you did, and I did as well with Trump, Hillary's paying 300 people to come to this rally. Trump has tens of thousands, and I went to some. And it's like, this is the disconnect, The disconnect is so huge.
And that is why they keep us focused on nonsense issues like transgender restrooms, whatever. They suck. I don't like it. But that is such a low priority so far. But if you can get people talking about nonsense, it's like the hand is quicker than the eye. If you think of it like a magician. Hey, everybody, go argue about transgender restrooms. They don't care. The bankers don't care. Soros doesn't care. Heidi Cruz doesn't care. Ted Cruz doesn't care about tranny restrooms. Ted Cruz cares about how much money can his wife steal from American people and steal from your children to enrich himself. He doesn't care about this stuff, right? He doesn't give an F-U-C-K about it. But if you got people talking about it and focused on these frivolous issues, these trivial issues, then you can steal even more money. That's why they're winning. We talk about nonsense all day. That is how they win.
For sure.
Thank you for the call. Go ahead.
I really appreciate you letting me call. The last thing I wanted to point out, and I'll go. I just wanted to say this because I think it's really interesting. If you remember when Trump's son allegedly hunted down a tiger and they had photos,
right?
Think about how long that was the front page. It was a week. But now there's like this weird blitzkrieg media push, and I'm not sure who started it, whether it was Trump or the other side. There's like people storming the White House, and we're not even talking about it because there's 6 other things going on that are so important. We can't. The media cycle is so weird now.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Thanks for the reminder. So for those of you who don't know, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump went on a wild game hunt, and they shot some leopards and maybe a giraffe. And there's a lot of debate about, is that ethical, is it moral? most people who have done it said the only way that you can the only way you can get these poor people in Africa to stop murdering wildlife is to have them take people like the Trumps on private guides, and you spend like $25,000 to go on these big game hunts. So they have an actual interest to preserve the wildlife, to keep it well stocked, to get that big money for the wild game in, and then you feed the villagers with it. But I don't want to get into that whole debate about hunting or whatever. But right, there was a picture of Don Jr. Holding a leopard or something, and the media lost its mind forever. Tim Kaine, his son, Tim Kaine was, if you remember, Hillary Clinton's vice presidential candidate. His son is a domestic terrorist. Did you know that? He was arrested, but of course wasn't charged. Why is that not news? The vice presidential candidate of the Democratic Party, who people thought was going to be one step away from the White House, his son is a domestic terrorist. Where can you find that story? But let the Trumps take a fart somewhere at a restaurant, and that'll be the top story all day, every day for weeks. But Tim Kaine's son is a domestic terrorist. Media doesn't care. That's why the media is the opposition party. Issues that should get more attention do not get the attention. Auburn, California, how you doing?
Yeah, hey Mike, it's Nikki calling you. I've spoken to you before. I was actually just calling in follow up to the gal that called in before that last gentleman you spoke to. I'm calling about, censorship, things been going on. I also didn't get a notification about you being on YouTube. Secondly, I saw that Paul Watson posted today talking about Facebook and how they're claiming that InfoWars links now are also being called spam.
Yep.
Straight across the board for that. And then now third on Twitter today, to me personally, I actually got slammed with a sensitive material. Overall, every post that I put on Twitter now is hit with a sensitive material notification to people that aren't, open to seeing sensitive items. But the picture that I posted was a picture of a clock. There was nothing sensitive about it, but now, ever since then, they're coming after me for everything since posting that, just because I think it's because I'm a Trump supporter.
Oh yeah, this was funny.
What should I do, or what, where do I go about, handling this now?
Yeah, no, it's a real issue. A person from Project Veritas, we met at the Bull Moose party. We took a selfie, she posted it, and it got flagged as sensitive. And it was just the two of us. There, we were in a public place. It wasn't like nudity, or it wasn't even a bikini. It wasn't even a scandalous dress or anything. It was just two people hanging out, and it got flagged as sensitive material. And unfortunately, that's just the algorithm, what it works. You can go into your settings and then manually change it. In your Twitter settings, there's a place that you can, I forget how to do it, but you can Google how to change your settings. Right. So you can turn that off and then see if they try to turn it back on. But that's really all you can do and hope for the best.
Yeah, see, I've changed my settings, and in my own tweet feed, it's coming up. I'll post something, and instead of seeing my own picture, now it's just showing the little link, to if it's a article, picture, etc. And, and all I got flagged for was, like I said, I posted a picture of a clock talking about daylight savings time.
What's your Twitter handle?
It's Nix, N-I-X _ K, M as in Mike.
Oh, okay, yeah. We already follow each other on Twitter.
Right. Yeah, and we've been following each other, and I always, leave comments and things with you, and like I said, I've called in before. Yeah. I just wanted to put it out there that now I'm being targeted personally, and I don't really know what I can do.
I mean, that's the thing. It's
I'm frustrated.
Yeah, you have over 1,000 followers, so you have a good growing. 1,000 Twitter followers is really good, especially starting off. And I'm on your profile right now, and I can see your pictures, so they aren't being flagged, at least for me.
Okay.
So maybe,
Yeah, see, people that have that marked, if you can see sensitive material.
Gotcha.
You know, all those people are saying, I even put a poll out there, only got maybe 12 people that answered.
Gotcha.
But I was just calling, maybe to, just give an output, let everybody know that, hey, we're being flagged or being singled out, and I personally am now a victim of it.
Yeah, no,
Like I said, it was for a clock. Like, I saw it and I got so upset I almost threw my phone out the sliding glass door. I said, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was pretty angry.
Yeah, I mean, they've been trying to ban me, so I'm really careful now on Twitter. What are you going to do? Ultimately, that's why we have to get our own platforms. Do you do anything with Gab.ai?
I did. I wrote them personally. I do have a Gab, and it's exactly the same handle name as I do on Twitter.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I just haven't really moved over anything. I haven't started using it. I have an Android phone personally, so they just launched the Android for it, and it's still in beta.
Gotcha.
So I haven't gotten around to using it much yet.
All right.
But,
I
maybe just to let everybody know out there that's listening and spread the word. Make sure you mark that you want to view sensitive material, because Trump supporters are being silenced. We're being censored for ridiculous reasons, and I just wanted to share that with everybody and get the word out.
And I posted your Twitter handle in the comment section. It's NIX_KM. Thanks for the call, Nix.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good one, Mike.
Mm-hmm. One more caller, Hamilton, Ohio. How you doing?
Doing pretty well, Mike. The police, are they getting weaker nowadays, less responsive, or is it just in places like Berkeley?
Okay, so there's two things going on with the police. One is that a lot of minority communities are complaining that the police will not respond to calls, and the police are saying, every time we go to respond to a call, you're trying to say that we're murdering you, so they're afraid to police inner city communities, and because of that, crime is going up in those communities. That is a mess. The second point is that if you are in a liberal city like Berkeley, California, Chicago, Illinois, they will deliberately tell the police to not intervene or help a Trump supporter. Because right now they can't put us into death camps, they can't put us into the gulags, but they can do the next best thing, which is just let the Antifa, let the other people do the dirty work for them. So if you should not go to liberal towns like Berkeley if you're a Trump supporter, because they will let you be beaten, robbed, raped. They'll let your children be hurt. They'll let you do anything because they want to arrest us as thought criminals and put us into the gulags, but they can't. So they'll just let Antifa do it and say, "Oh, we couldn't do anything about it." So that is what's going on with the police.
All right.
Thanks for the call, Rob. Always a pleasure.
I appreciate the call. Yep.
Thanks for your great calls, as always. Hit the like button, the right mindset, Mike Cernovich. Be sure to hit the like button. Why? So we can figure out, we got to break the algorithm. Twitter had me shadow banned for a while. So what I found out is when Twitter had me shadow banned, I would do a lot of tweet streams where you chain tweets together. So you tweet one tweet, two, and that was how I got out of the shadow ban. I just said, I'll tweet 100 times a day rather than let them win. So the same is true for this YouTube. Share the link to this on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on your blogs, share it on your Google+. Hit the like button, and then eventually we'll crash their algorithms and they won't have any choice. But just leave us alone. Let us do our thing. That's the whole point. We're not asking for special treatment. All we are asking is for them to just let us speak. Let us speak, share a message. Then we'll see who wins, us or the liberals. So thanks for watching. We're going to call it quits for the night. Be sure to hit the like button. This is Mike Cernovich, dangerandplay.com. Guerrilla Mindset, the right mindset. Calling it a night. Thanks again for your great calls. And I'm supposed to wait like 5 seconds so they can add the little cut. So we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.